this video, we will be learning about a material request and material issuance voucher, which is based on your department type. What is material request? So it's basically a formal document raised to request the materials required for your various operations such as production, maintenance, internal consumptions, etc. within an organization, and it ensures the availability and control of stock before issuing or purchasing, and it ensures the traceability of your internal consumption, and it reduces unauthorized material use as well. So when it's of your material issuance voucher, it is a system generated or manually created document that records the issuance of materials from store or warehouse to a department like your production and maintenance, and it serves as a proof that material were withdrawn from inventory for authorized use, ensures a traceability and accountability for material usage, and it of course updates your inventory balance. So this is said to be as your material request as well as a material issuance voucher. So this slide consists of your material request details. So this is a corresponding detail which you are going to enter it on our material request screen, which consists of your rim, that's the item, and so the request quantity of 1 and unit of measurements which are of numbers. And this slide consists of your workflow approval. So here it consists of two processes. One is of reviewing, another is of approving the document. When it's of reviewing, Kaushik, who will be acting as a supervisor, will be reviewing the document and forward the document to our warehouse manager, who is Vimal here. And this slide consists of your workflow approval, and it holds two processes. One is of reviewing the document, another is of approving the document. Here our reviewer will be Kaushik, who will be working as our supervisor, and after his review he will be forwarding the corresponding document to our approver, that's Vimal, who will be acting as our manager. After his approval, a material request will be created. So this is how the workflow would be. Now in order to create a material request, let's move on to our login page. Enter your username and password. Now click on login, navigate to your inventory, move on to your transaction. At transaction you have your material request, and so this is a page where you're going to raise a request, and this is a page where we'll be filtering the document that's been created of either by header wise or through line wise by giving a search. Now in order to create, click on this add icon. So here we have a location ID. When you elect your location, automatically unit will be getting fetched up here from your masters. Then comes your MR date, and so MR type, which are of different types. So here it's of customer, that's been raised when materials are required to fulfill a customer order. When it's of department, it's been created by an internal department to get a materials from the stores. When it's of intra-transfer, it's for stock transfer within the same plant or warehouse. Then comes your inter-transfer, it's for stock transfer between different plants or locations. And so if you're a supplier internal, it's for materials sent to or received from a supplier for internal activities. When it's of your subcontractor material request, it's raised to issue raw materials or components to a subcontractor for job work. Then it's your WIP, it's nothing but your work in progress. It's for issuing material to production or shop floor for manufacturing activities. When it's of project material request, it's been raised for project based work where materials are issued against a specific project code or task. When it's of your employee, created when employees require materials for official or personal use. As we discussed about this material request previously, we will be placing the type, that's of department. And then we have a requester. It's a person, department or entity who initiates or raises the material request, and so the requester, I'm giving it as of purchase. Then it's of the corresponding employee, and so I've given my employee name. Then comes a shift, which are of general, and after giving all such details you can click on this tick icon, which is of creation, and so the document will get viewed up here. So in addition, we have our MR number, that's a material request number, which will get generated automatically. Then comes a reference, which is of editable, that's a text field. Then it's of your issuance code, and so this will be set up at your inventory. Then comes a shift, and so the mission, where it refers to the equipment, tool or production unit for which the requested material has been required, consists of your LOV, which can be chosen as per required. Then comes your source, which are of manual, and so the status, so still the document is on process, it's of draft. When it's been forwarded, status will be changed to entry completed, and when being approved by the approver, will be transformed to your approved state. And then here we have our fetch material, so where it consists of your fetch type, that's of BOM wise, and so item, whether it's of single or multiple. Then comes your parent item, and so after giving all such details and click on this fetch, so after giving all such items, and when you click on this fetch and give OK, that particular item will get displayed up here. And then you have your fetch pull stock, whereas it has material type that's of 2, that's of push and pull. When it's of push, system will raise the material request automatically, that's with your production order request, material will get generated. When it's of your pull, a material request will raise manually, and so users will only do a manual entries, and so without your production order, no need of a order reference. So in order to ensure, make sure of your item is of push and pull at your item master. As of now, in order to create it, let's click on this add icon. So here type consists of your standard and SFG. Now we have placed up it on standard, and I'm electing the item that's of rim. So which fetches up your warehouse, that's of consumables. Then we have our production order number, where it's a unique number assigned to a production order in ERP system. It identifies and tracks the manufacturing of a specific quantity of FG from raw material according to a BOM and routing. When it's of your source operation number, it refers to the production routing from which a component or activity is required or consumed. Then we are going to enter our request quantity for which you are going to raise a request, that's of 1, and then let's give save. After giving save, the remaining 2 icons will get displayed up. So where it has a view detail icon, in this you can just look up your sale order and order details, and so your other details which holds your parent item details and lot and serial details for that item. And if you do not want this line, you can just click on this bin icon, just of deleting the line. And then if you want to attach any other folder, you can just click on this attachment so that you can enhance a folder into it. And if you do not want this document, you can just click on this cancel icon, so it will get cancelled up. So now in order for review, you will be posting this document and make the document approved. Now let's post this document. After clicking on the post icon, a box have been appeared here. So now in order to forward, let's click on this OK. And so the document has been forwarded now. Now let's log in as our supervisor. Now click on login. And so this is a login page of our supervisor. Click on this bell icon, go to approvals. And so the document has been folded up here. In order to take action, click on this detail icon. After having a review of this document, you will be clicking approve. Now the document will get proceeded further for our manager. Now let's click on OK. Now let's log in as our manager. Now let's click on login. And so here we have entered as our manager. Click on this bell icon, move on to your approvals. Now let's click on this detail icon. And so this is a document for which material request has been given up. So now in order to approve after reviewing, click on this approve. And so the action you're going to take is of approving the document for the click of OK. And so now the document has been approved. Now let's go and watch the status at our material request screen. Now let's search for the document by giving our MR number, and now click on search. When you click on this MR number, the document will get viewed up like this. And so here we have a workflow history. Or nimsham Dinesh. And so here we have a status which has become approved now after a draft and entry completed. And then you have a workflow history. So it refers to the record or log of all actions, approvals, rejections, and status changes that occur during the life cycle of your workflow transaction in an ERP system. And it provides a complete audit trail showing who did what, when, and what decision was taken at each step of your workflow process. And then we have two print icons. One is for print tag, another is for printing this report. A document will get generated up. So this is a document of your material request. So this is the item for which you have raised a request, and so which holds a requester, employee, and so the quantity that's of 1 and the unit cost. So followingly you will be having your prepared by person, checked by, and so approved by person as well. So this is the report of your material request and how you will be generating it. And so this is how you will be creating a material request. And at second stage we will be moving on to your material issuance. For that, let's move on to your material issuance voucher. And now click on this yellow that's of pending icon in order to create a issuance. So after creating a material request, that will be falling at your material issuance that's of your pending MR lines. So here it consists of your requested quantity is of 1, and so current process quantity of 1. Either we can increase it or by decrease it. Followingly, we have the allocated, which is a quantity of material reserved or blocked in stock for a specific request or job but not yet issued. Then comes your issued quantity. It's a quantity of material physically issued from the store to the requester. Then comes your returned quantity, the quantity of issued material returned back to the store. Then of your closed short quantity, that's a balance quantity that's closed without issuing, which means it will not be supplied further. Then comes your detail icon, and so the stock. When you click on the stock, it shows the stock list. Here we have the stock of 9. So when it's been issued, it will be reduced to 8 since the request has been for 1. Then you have your PR number and so production number. Then comes your parent item, parent revised, and so your parent item description. When you elect this document and click on the stock details, the stock detail will get viewed up for this corresponding item. So here you have your current process quantity and so stock quantity on hand, so which are of 9. When it's of 1, it will be displayed off. So exception is nothing but alert will be shown off. So now let's click on this create MIV. So it holds up your MIV date. Now let's click on this create MIV. In addition, you have your MIV number that's of which will get generated automatically. And so the receiver type we have given as of department. There is a receiver warehouse. And so here we have a issuance quantity which are of 1, where it refers to the actual quantity of material issued from inventory to a department or operation. So when it's of your request quantity, what the requester asked for a specific task, order, or project. Then it consists of the unit cost, that's a cost of a single unit of a product or item. That's often used in your inventory valuation and for pricing. And then we have your cost batch. That's a batch number or lots from which a material is being issued, carrying its own cost tracked in an MIV. Then comes your locator. That's of your specific storage location within the warehouse or store. Then you have your sale order project allocation, which means the material being issued or requested. It is linked to a specific sale order or projects, ensuring that the stock is used only for that purpose and not shared across others. When it's of your lot and serial details, it holds your corresponding lot number and serial number that's of your item. So here you have your sys-ls number. So it's a unique system generated your serial number for a roll or coil of a material used to track and identify it as an inventory. Then it's of your LS unit cost, that's a cost per unit length, for example per meter or roll for that particular roll or length serial number. Then we have our roll details. So this section consists of a detailed information of the rolls being issued, including serial numbers, lengths, unit cost and batch numbers. So now let's click on post. So after giving post, the document will get posted. In order to check it, let's give on our MIV number and click on search. So when you click on this MIV number, the document has been transformed from draft to posted. When you click on this print icon, a report gets generated. So this is a report of your material issuance voucher for the corresponding item that's of RIM, and so the issuance quantity that's become 1. So this is the issuance quantity that's been raised from the request. So this is how you will be generating a report for your material issuance voucher. And this is the creation of your material request and material issuance voucher that's of department wise. Thank you for watching.